Cardano has broken out.
Let's get into it.
So today, guys, we'll be taking a cheeky look at the Cardano technical analysis and the ADA price action. We'll be getting into the technical analysis on the daily chart, 4-hourly chart, and hourly chart to see exactly what is going on here with Cardano's ADA. As we get into this video, guys, if you do find it useful and informative, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you happen to be new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with all those new cryptocurrencies and hidden gems that we do talk about here, then why not consider subscribing to the channel? By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with everything we do here. It is free, you'll stay well informed, so why not? And Chris, anything else you would like to add before we jump on down and get right on into Cardano's ADA?
Go on, man. I'm just so excited. This project is going to be doing amazing, not only over the next few weeks and months, but the next few years. I mean, it's just remarkable what they're doing, Nick.
Fantastic. Right, let's just jump on down and get right on into it.
Let's do it.
Right, guys, this is Cardano to the USDT daily chart. Binance is the data source. And here we have a Fibonacci retracement as usual. And this one runs from the low of the 23rd of December through to the high that was achieved on the 27th of February. That high, I think, was $1.48.8. And actually, that was a 66-day run that saw 1,076% in very juicy gains. After that, there was a sideways trade for 41 days where we saw the corrections come down to the 618 area of the Fibonacci retracements. We then had a second attempt at trying to go higher than $1.48 before another pullback to the 702. We really consolidated heavily here around the 786 before we had another breakout event taking us to another all-time high. That all-time high only lasted for 3 days and 30% gains before Bitcoin had a correction that pulled ADA back down. That took us down to the 702, the 618, and even the wick actually just proceeding a little bit lower than the 100 moving average. That was low enough though, and ADA bounced right back on up, claiming the 618 quite firmly, taking the 702, and then finding resistance at $1.34. We consolidated around there for a little bit longer, finding support on the 50 moving average, and that is where we got the most significant bounce. From there, we started to set another all-time high. That first all-time high came on the 6th of May, then that was followed by another all-time high on the 7th of May. We had the pullback yesterday, which we were kind of expecting, as you want to back test on some previous areas, and we'll get into that in a moment. And then today, we wake up, Chris, and we've got another all-time high here for Cardano's ADA. So the high today has been a high of $1.78. So pretty good stuff going on there. And what we're going to do is just show you guys why we had that pullback yesterday, which is quite important. And you can see this wick if I just pop this one and just put it over here so you can see. It actually came down, guys, to the previous high that was on that second high that we had, right? So we set the first one at $1.48, then we set that second high at $1.55, and that's where we came down to yesterday. So we're basically testing the previous resistance area of $1.55. We can see that here, that we actually back tested that, and then bam, we shot off right back up to the upside. So really good moves are happening here with Cardano's ADA. Now what I'm going to do is we can just go putting back our volume as we can see exactly what was going on here. We're just going to have a look at this, right? So we can see the 50 moving average. That's where we got the bounce from. We can see that we have that resistance and support line at $1.55. And we can also find just over here was that area of consolidation at $1.34. Now, when we had this move to the upside just over here is when we got some significant volume on the increase just down here, right? Unfortunately, it's still lower than we actually would like it. It's a macro view of a decreasing volume. But, ultimately, since we had that correction come back in, the volumes decrease. So what we're looking for today, guys, is another increase in volume. So today's going to be quite key. We want to see that volume continue to grow. Otherwise, we'll run out of steam pretty quickly and have another correction. So volume's going to be key thing to watch out for here. Now, we're just entering an overbought area on the RSI. So we had the slight pullback yesterday, which we were expecting. And then, obviously, we're now starting to move on up ahead. So we're still just at 71, so just about overbought, and we have still loads of room to grow if that volume does grow along with it. So there's a high potential here of about 91 on this relative strength index. So ultimately, there's about 20 percentage points or so on the RSI, but we do need to have that volume significantly increasing in order to really take the best use of this. Otherwise, we'll end up falling down and a correction will be due, right? So once we're up in this overbought area, we will be looking to correct down, but we want to obviously take out that first price target before we end up with that correction. What I'm going to do is just pull this down to our 4-hourly. So you can see that resistance really coming down here, or the resistance up here at $1.55. You can see the testing happening just around here and around here. That was enough to significantly indicate on this 4-hourly chart that there was enough room to continue growing. We can see that here. We can see the volume really spiking up as we were onto the upside, and we can see that coming down quite sharply here. The decrease in volume whilst we are correcting here, basically protects the price. We found good support at $1.55. That's quite clear to see. And now we're starting to get another spike in volume just now in the last couple of hours or so. So we're looking to continue that growth there. And if as long as that keeps coming in, we should start to see some significant price discovery here for Cardano's ADA. Now, we're not overbought on this relative strength index on the 4-hourly like we are on the daily. So there's still plenty of room to grow here on this 4-hourly chart. So at 66, huge amounts of room to grow. And so we're looking to basically increase that volume and push that relative strength index into the overbought area, and we want to be targeting well above that $2 range so that we can have that correction come back down, and probably into this area around here of one of those previous highs. But hopefully that support zone will show itself quite clearly in due course. So what I'm going to do is just throw this down again, Chris, into our hourly view. And again, you can see that rise to the top here with the volumes coming in nice and strong. They have decreased, but actually started to increase quite nicely now as we're starting to take out some other areas. We can see that we have the 50 moving average just around our candles here, along with the 100, and the 200 is not too far below. Now here it looks like we have our 100 crossing over our $1.55 support line, and that was a good thing because that obviously was giving us a bit of an indication that there's a good support found here. Now, the other thing we can see is the 50 moving average actually was kind of acting as a little bit of resistance just up here, but actually it hasn't held, and we have blasted on through there. So it's going to be an interesting one to see how those averages follow those candles as we start to push on up a little bit higher. And again, we're not overbought on this chart yet either. So we're looking for that volume to continue growing in a positive way. And if so, then we should be able to push this up a little bit higher into that relative strength index overbought zone before having that correction. So things here are looking pretty interesting when it comes to Cardano's ADA. We are going to be expecting a bit of a pullback. So, you know, these things are natural when it comes to pushing up to new all-time highs. You're going to have slight pullbacks that will be retesting previous highs and things like that. So we are expecting more of a pullback for Cardano's ADA, but we still think there's plenty of room to grow here. So it might be a little bit of a slow burner, as most things with Cardano appear to be. But ultimately, we are still going after that first price target of $2.33. So pretty good move to be had there. That comes in at about 34% from the current position. And ultimately what we're looking for is to kind of have these kind of mini corrections on that route and that journey to the upside. Now, obviously, when we had this 1,076% in gains, that was a 66-day move that saw quite a bit of corrections before we were blasting on after those levels. And so what we're looking for is probably, you know, a week or two's worth of kind of trading to kind of get us to that point of $2.33. And Chris, the $2.33 is our kind of price target for May. So we're looking to take that one out during the month of May, and we've still got a bit of time to be able to get there. So things are looking pretty interesting here. We're finally getting up to some traction here with Cardano's ADA. $2 is probably going to be a bit of a psychological barrier to push through. So I'm expecting a bit of a pullback when we get to about there. Otherwise, this thing's looking pretty good. After we get to $2.33, we'll be talking about, you know, $3.70, followed by $5.07, and then $5.91. What I'm really keen to do is see how things are starting to form with Cardano's ADA later in the year to see if there's more potential than just what this Fibonacci is currently showing us. But Chris, what's your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, like I just think it's all, you know, really good. It's kind of what we've been talking about for a while, particularly on live streams. We expect Cardano to start going on a bit of a run, and I think we're just, you know, at the start of that. I don't think it's really sort of moved to where we think it's likely to go. So for me, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting month, May.
Absolutely. So guys, hopefully you found this update, you know, useful, informative. If you have, then hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you happen to be new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with, you know, all those new cryptocurrencies and hidden gems, then why not consider subscribing to the channel? By becoming a subscriber, you'll be kept up to date with everything we do here. It is free. You'll stay well informed. So why not? And with that said and done and out of the way, we hope everyone has a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.